So when I first heard about hypnotherapy, I thought it was very woo-woo, and I was actually very skeptical that, that it would work at all. But now being on the other side of that, I can tell you for sure, for me personally, that one session moved mountains for me. And I just wanted to give some context and share my own experience with you. And so basically, when Christin and I decided to work together, I was thinking about what it is that I wanted to work through in this particular session. And what I've been experiencing recently was a lot of panic attacks. And I never used to experience them, but they came about, I'd say, in the last year, and it became quite frequent, like once or twice a week sometimes. And I thought, okay, this is something I want to work on. And if hypnotherapy can get rid of my panic attacks, then it is, by my definition, magic. So as we went into the session with Christine, we dove a little bit deeper into why I might be having panic attacks. And so the theme came back to safety, and she just guided me so wonderfully through just all the layers, like peeling back the layers one by one. And in the end, what we kind of hypothesized was at the root of my panic attacks was actually this self-worth and deservedness piece that was very, very low for me. And so that was the intention of our session, was to work on the self-worth piece. And so, yeah, the hours just flew by. I was deeply, deeply in my subconscious, and Christine she was such an angel. She guided me and made me feel so safe and really held me in that. And it was definitely hard. Like, I had moments where I was really struggling and it was really painful to let go and to process everything that I was feeling. But yeah, it was really, really wonderful to have her there, her voice in the background just guiding me. And at the end, when we were kind of debriefing what I'd seen and what I was processing, it also just helped so much that she was able to reflect certain things back to me. And so all in all, that whole process, I would say, was incredibly life-changing and transformative for me. And I'm recording this 1 month later, so about 4 or 5 weeks after our session. And I have not had a single full-on panic attack since then. I've felt it come on, and in about 30 seconds to a minute, I'm able to kind of come back into my body, remember the words, remember the feeling that I had in our session, and it just dissipates. And then on top of that, just moving through life differently. Finances as well have soared since the 4 weeks. And this piece of just feeling more worthy, feeling more deserving of, that's just really allowed me to show up in my personal life and especially in my business in a very different way, much more powerful. And who knew that one tiny piece of your self-worth and deservedness could have had such a magnitude of an effect, or such a massive ripple effect across everything else in my life. I would never have thought, and I could have spent years, and I have spent years on all these other areas of my life, that this one session just, struck off probably half a dozen things that I was battling with in just one session. And it all came back to this root cause and this toxic reference point that I had, which I now have created a healthier reference point now. And yeah, just for anyone who's thinking about doing it, you might not even know what it is that you need to work on, but if you are somebody who prefers to just work at the root cause of something and have that ripple out onto other aspects of your life, and highly, highly recommend doing a session I highly recommend doing it with Christine. She just has a beautiful way of like holding space for you. And yeah, would definitely consider doing another session with her myself in the future.